Time is running out for the Ghana Cocoa Board as the European Union says its transition period for the implementation of the controversial traceability policy will elapse at the end of this year. This means that from start of next year, Ghana's main cash crop, cocoa, cannot be exported into Europe unless evidence is provided that the Ghanaian cocoa is not sourced from recently deforested land or contributes to forest degradation. Currently, over 60% in Ghana finds its way into European markets, but this will no longer be the case.
Cocoa is a major source of foreign exchange for the Republic of Ghana. However, the increasing demand for this cash crop over the years has resulted in the use of more deforested land to feed the supply chain. This situation has prompted the European Union to pass its traceability policy. According to this new regulation, any cocoa product entering the European market should not be sourced from recently deforested land or contribute to forest degradation. After 2 years of running what it terms a transition period, the EU says it is time for action and the need to enforce environmental sustainability.
So the discussions, they were ongoing for quite some time because we adopted legislation 2 years ago, and 2 years were given for a transition period. So now we're aiming to have the legislation running since the beginning of the next year.
The EU Commission is this week sending a high-level delegation led by its Commissioner for Environment, Oceans and Fisheries to Ghana, which is one of the world's largest producers of cocoa.
Because this legislation is applicable to all. It's not aiming at any country or any region in the world. It's applicable to EU member states, the same as the countries outside the EU. What it tackles is the commodities. Commodities that do have the biggest impact as regards the deforestation around the globe. That our consumption pattern is one of the reasons that drives deforestation. So therefore, this step by the EU is taking responsibility for our consumption pattern and ensuring that the supply chains through which certain commodities reach the EU, that they are free of deforestation.
Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire are the two world largest producers of cocoa. There is in fact a framework that guides our trade, the Ghana Cocoa Initiative. I was speaking to the CEO a couple of weeks back, and he appears to identify two major factors for which we're seeing this high level of disruptions within the supply chain. First off, the issue about other markets or third states paying higher prices to these cocoa farmers. Don't you feel that if we apply the standards, these countries might take advantage of the situation and then we'll see smuggling into other markets other than the EU?
On contrary, I think, sustainability pays off. And consumers, they are aware very well that they want to have a product that comes from the areas that are not associated with child labor abuses, that are not associated with the deforestation. So therefore, those certified goods, they of course are much more expensive in the market, but they also don't have a negative impact, especially on producers, large as chocolate producers or other products. Well, even if that certain product will go to different market first, and then it would try to enter EU, it would still need to be traced back to its origin. Because the information that is needed to provide is very simple. It's the geolocation data of the farmland. So this is something that doesn't move. And for us, the most important is the...
In the wake of the implementation of this new policy, the EU has come under intense criticism for placing the livelihood of smallholder farmers in jeopardy. But the multilateral body says the reverse is the case, as it is urging the regulator, Cocoa Board, to endeavor to meet this new standard.
First of all, I think we should not shift it onto the farmers, because the farmers, they do their job. And for example, with the structure of agriculture that you have here in Ghana, where you have the Cocoa Board, they are an umbrella organization who has the ownership over the farmland. So they know what's going on in which farmland. for how many years, when that farm was established.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure all that data they do have, and all they need is to share it with operators who export goods to other countries. That's it. So I don't think so we need to, put any of sort of additional pressure on the farmers.